Hello everyone and welcome to today's Tidbit, where we address all of life's pressing issues in 5 minutes or less. Ish. Today, the question of how do you value your faith? I want you to take a moment and look back to your childhood and try to remember if you ever received something special, something that meant the world to you. Did you ever get something special? Something unique or something rare? I'm talking about something that none of your other friends had. Have you ever obtained an object that was so important to you that you wouldn't even dare try to put a price on it? Maybe for you it was a signed movie poster, or maybe for you it was a super rare baseball card. I want you to hearken back to your childhood and remember the advice of your parents upon receiving such an amazing gift. What did they tell you? My suspicion is that their advice was probably put it in a lockbox or a glass case, because you never know, it could be worth money someday. That's the phrase that children hear, right? That new Star Wars toy or that jersey signed by our favorite football player? Our parents, in their wisdom, tell us that we shouldn't play with them, lest we diminish its value. But what does the kid think about that? How does the kid value the value of that item? It certainly holds value to them, there is no question in that. But what kind of value does a child see when it comes to such a precious gift? Let's take the example of our signed baseball glove. To a child, the value comes from the experience. To a child, the value is not revealed through the future monetary connection to this item. Rather, it is the idea that their hero has made their mark on something that used to be ordinary and made it extraordinary. To a child, this is not something that should be locked in a safe or hidden away. No, to a child, this is something you use, something you play with, something you show off to your friends and show off to the world. To a child, the value is not the future. Rather, to a child, the value is in the present. I think when we compare how a child views the value of that baseball glove and how an adult views the value, I would argue that in many cases, the child probably has it right. I think that as adults, we may have a distorted view of value. If you don't follow Nebraska football or aren't familiar with Nebraska, you can almost be forgiven for not knowing the story of Jack Hoffman. Jack is a 7-year-old boy who in 2011 was diagnosed with cancer, and he had a wish. He had a wish to meet his hero, Husker running back Rex Burkhead. And after hearing of Jack's situation, not only did Rex take the time to meet Jack, but they struck up a friendship that persisted over the last 2 years. As a gift, last Christmas, Jack received a number 22 jersey signed by none other than, you guessed it, Rex Burkhead. As a 7-year-old, you can't get something more valuable than that. And during the spring practice game in April of this year, 7-year-old Jack Hoffman was called on by head coach Bo Pelini to take the handoff from quarterback Taylor Martinez and proceeded to run 69 yards for a touchdown. That's a pretty impressive story. Can you take any guesses what little Jack was wearing on his once-in-a-lifetime run? That's right. His number 22 jersey signed by Rex Burkhead. Now, he could have fallen down. He could have gotten grass stains. He could have torn the jersey. He could have diminished the monetary value of that treasure. But, to his dad's credit, he didn't tell Jack, well, that could be worth money someday. No. He said, put on your jersey and get on the field. Because for Jack, the value was not something far off, or some far-off monetary exchange. For Jack, the value was in the present. It was in the here, it was in the now. It was the pride he could take in running down the field with the name of his hero stenciled on the back of his shirt. So let me ask you something. How do you value your faith? What does your faith mean to you? When you became a Christian, did you view your faith as something in the here and now? Or did you view yourself as something that could be locked away in a box? Cherished, yes, but not for its force that transforms your life today, rather as a chip you would exchange at the resurrection for your passage into heaven. So many of us are thrilled to say yes to Christ to save us from hell. But we put that truth away and we think to ourselves, by golly, that decision will be worth something someday. It is sad. It is sad that our faith has the ability to transform every aspect of our lives, yet we decide instead that it is merely a way to monetize our salvation as a future investment rather than a present reality. Now, I want to be clear. You are saved through grace. Faith is important, and it does save you from eternal punishment. But if that is all faith is to you, then I would say you're probably living a pretty cheap grace. So let me ask you, how do you value your faith? How is it reflected in your life? Is your faith merely an investment for the future? Man, you may be saved, but I think you're probably missing out. Can I challenge you to reevaluate your perception of value? Can I challenge you to come to faith with the heart of a child? Our faith in Christ and the salvation it brings is a gift, not meant to be tucked away, but to be experienced and enjoyed. It is intended to transform your life and consume your being, replacing the person you used to be with the person God intended you to be. Faith is a gift, designed to be shown to the world and shared with our friends. It deserves to be taken out of the case and used on a daily basis. This gift we have received bears the name of our hero and is signed by his word. And like a good father, like Jack's father, our Father does not tell us to tuck away our faith for what it may be worth someday. But no, rather he tells us to throw on that faith jersey, to get on the field in front of the world to see, and run.